Hey guys, it's BAB1233321, and today I am back with a review and then probably a comparison of three relatively brand new Skullcandy products. Now, the first one that I'm going to talk about is the shops in here. So, let's get to it. So, I'm just going to go over quick couple of things about the headphones. These are a mic'd headphone. And that means that they have this little click piece in the left side of the cable on the earphone, and you can play or pause, track forward, track back, and then control the volume going up and down. And that terminates to the centerpiece with the splitter that you can control the cable so that it goes up, and then you can have less cable when it goes up, and you can have more cable where it goes back down towards the middle piece. Going to the end of the headphones, it terminates at a 3.5mm TRRS connector, and it's TRRS for the mic, the last ring around the 3.5mm pin that goes into your iPod or whatever your music playing device is. And that's about it. Now, some quick specifications off the box are that the frequency response is 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. The cable length is approximately 1.2 meters. And the material that the cable is made out of is a TPE. Now, my best explanation for the cable is that it's a plastic cable. And if you rub it against your shirt, or a sweatshirt, or a windbreaker, any type of jacket or something like that, it's going to make noise. And quite frankly, I can't get away from this no matter what pair of headphones I buy, and it stinks if you're moving around a lot. With this headphone in particular, since it is a clip-on earphone, and this clips around your ear, when I went jogging with this, it didn't fall off, which is great, because that's the worst thing that can happen when you're jogging is you have your inner earphones and they just fall out every 5 seconds. That was fantastic because they clip on, they're adjustable, they go up and they go down on the clip around piece. And then the clip piece is very flexible so that it moves with you. It doesn't hurt if it's too rigid like some of the pieces are. Like, I know Sennheiser makes a harder plastic version that goes around your ear, and those didn't really work too well with me. I've had those pair before. I'm not sure what the specific name is, but it's one of the Sennheiser pairs that's a clip-on. They didn't work for me. That's great as far as the headphone. And then when you get to the transducer, which is a 9mm transducer, it produces some pretty good sound considering these were only $34.99 or about $35, ranging to $40 depending on where you buy it. I bought mine at Newberry Comics. And as you can see, this is the old style packaging. Some of the new style packagings, like another review I'm going to do of the 50/50 today, these packagings are quite different from what Skullcandy's been doing in the past, and I like the new packaging, but this was kind of interesting because I don't see too many people who have the very first black chops in here, and I think that's kind of cool. But besides that, the price is $34.99. I'll put the link in the description for Skullcandy's website. You can buy them there. Amazon carries them. And then a couple other places, like you can purchase them at Best Buy, I believe, carries Skullcandy products, and other retailers around you. But as far as that goes, it's $34.99. And I think it's a pretty good product. The bass has some impact to it. It's not super deep. It's not clean on everything, and it's just okay overall. I wouldn't say it's a great headphone, but it's a pretty good headphone for just jogging, exercising, that kind of thing. It's not too bad. And overall, I would say it's a pretty good product. Definitely worth buying if you're looking for a clip-on type headphone and you want something that's going to stay put and won't move out. Now, the only other thing that I would say is make sure you pick the right size ear tips when you get these. They come with 3 sets of silicone. They're small, medium, and large. Try all the tips because you want to get a good seal with this. To get a nice, clean sounding, you know, impacting bass response out of the headphone, you want to have a nice seal in your ear canal. Otherwise, you're not going to get that. If the ear tip is too small, there's too much space, and it's just boggling around in your ear, you're not going to get good, nice, full, clean sound that you could get if you had a nice seal in your ear. I've tried these with phone tips. Personally, I don't think it makes much of a difference, at least for this headphone it doesn't. And other than that, it's a pretty good headphone. For the money, it's a really, really decent buy if you're looking for this type of headphone. When it comes to the mids are somewhat muffled because it's an in-ear headphone. Any type of closed headphone that goes over your ear, seals around, or any over-ear closed headphone, any in-ear, I feel like they kind of suffer from the suffer in the mids mainly, and I just can't get around that. But besides that, the highs are pretty well presented, and I feel like overall it's a good headphone. So that is the Skullcandy Chops in-ear, and we better look at the box. And like I said, that's the old style box, so most of the time from now on, if you don't buy the black ones, I wouldn't expect to get that box. Now, the second pair of headphones I have today are, like I presented earlier, the Skullcandy 50/50. Now, the 50/50 is ironically $50. I bought these at Apple, and I have to say, this is quite an improvement from the previous version of the 50/50. Now, the first thing that I noticed when I pulled these out of the box is that they have a flat cable. I love flat cables. Flat cables not only do not tangle as well, you know, they don't tangle easy. You can toss these in your pocket and they won't tangle. But they're just nice to wrap around. When you're putting your headphones away, and when I put my headphones away, I do a 3-finger wrap. I take 3 fingers, I put the connector behind, and I just wrap them around. It's a breeze to wrap these things. I mean, with some of the other cables, they'll get stuck halfway or they'll get kinked and it's just a pain to fold them up. But the flat cable makes it really easy or really nice to fold it up and put it away. And they come with a new metal style carrying case that Skullcandy has put on. See if we can get the lights to see that skull right there. And it's on flip sides of the case. It's on both sides of the case. I hate metal cases. This is a horrible case. This is the clamshell case that Skullcandy used to put with most of their products. Was a pretty good just nylon case, zippered up. You know, you could put a couple extra sets of ear tips in it. That was fine. I don't see why Skullcandy needed to change the case, the style of the case that they've been putting in almost all their headphones for the past couple of years. It was a great case. This case, in my opinion, I don't like because, for one thing, the machined aluminum part of the earphone here, before the silicone tip and going into the housing, is machined aluminum, I believe. It's some type of metal, maybe magnesium. And that, and including the 3-pin mic cable at the end, where the cable terminates into the jack, the TRRS connector. It's also machined aluminum metal down here too, and it clings around in the case. I mean, I'll take the little jack, it just hits the case, and it's really annoying when I keep them in my pocket and I'm moving around. I hate that. It's really a horrible thing. But besides that, getting to the sound quality, they're a pretty good headphone. Comparing them to the Chops, it's a better headphone. No doubt in my mind. It has better bass impact, the mids are a little bit clearer, and the highs are kind of almost sparkly, but they're controlled a little bit. And it's a pretty decent headphone for $49.99. But it's not completely clear going into the sub bass region, and even some songs with the bass, it's not controlled. It's sloppy and it fails on some songs. It's just okay. But besides that, I feel like it's a pretty good headphone. Compared to the Chops, they're a clip-on sports-style headphone that you're going to run jogging with or exercise with. You know, it's really nice because they clip on and stay. These most likely won't stay. These are Bud style, like a lot of Skullcandy's earphones. And they're going to fall out in terms of that. If you want them for better sound quality, you only have to spend another $15. However, I believe that if you're looking for sports style, go with the Chops. If you're looking for just an average everyday use like I do for these, I use them with my phone, my MP3 player, my iPod, and they work really well overall. Now, the headphones overall are orange, of course, you can see that. When you get up to the housing, it's a matte finish, so these are not shiny. They don't scratch, which is very nice. And they're going to stay pretty clean and scratch-free and nick-free for a while before they start to show any signs of wear. The cable, like I said, is flat. And halfway down on the left-hand side, there is a mic, like I said before. This is the end where it terminates is a TRRS connector, and it has the extra pin for the mic. Now, going back to it, I already explained this before. It's play, pause, track back, track forward. There's 2 clicks for forward, 3 clicks for backwards, and then volume up and down, of course. The mics that Skullcandy has been putting on their products before they came up with the Supreme Sound campaign have all been relatively small. On the 50/50 here, this mic is slightly wider. I really like this. I mean, I can't show you on camera, but trust me, it is a little bit wider and it makes worlds of a difference. It is much easier to press. You don't put as much stress on the mic when you're trying to press it, and it just works better, and it's a really much needed improvement that I feel like makes a huge difference, and it makes it a lot easier to use. So overall, I would say the 50/50 is better than the Chops in-ear in terms of sound quality. But if you're looking for a sports style earbud, I would definitely go with the Chops. Hands down for a cheap sport in-ear because it works magnificently for what it does at a cheap price of $34.99. And then as far as the 50/50 goes, the sound quality is a step up from that, from the Chops in-ear, and it's a much better, well-rounded sound. Now, I just want to talk about for a minute about what files I use. I use free lossless audio codec for my phone and for my Sensa MP3 player. It works very well. I have some tracks that I believe are around 320 kilobytes, maybe some that are 256, but I don't have any 128 kilobyte recordings. So I would say that I have pretty decent material to test these, and they have all burned in. All the headphones that I'm reviewing have been burned in for over 100 hours. It takes quite a while to do that, but it makes a big difference when you're talking about a dynamic driver or a dynamic transducer like the Chops in-ear do, and the 50/50 do, and the Fix in-ear do, which I'm about to get to, that product. But I use free lossless, like I said, on my phone and my Sensa MP3 player. And then on my iPod, I use Apple lossless since I can't do free lossless audio codec, or FLAC for short, since Apple doesn't support that, which I really don't like, but it works good. Works good enough, at least for my uses. Anyways, so yeah, the Skullcandy 50/50 Chops. I'm sorry, 50/50. What am I talking about? 50/50 in-ear headphones. Really, really well-rounded product. Skullcandy's definitely made some improvements. The mic, the flat cable, and I hate this case. This case is a piece of junk. I know you can turn out hundreds of those, and you can make them a lot cheaper than those little nylon clamshells, but the clamshells are so much better. But yeah, overall a very nice product, and I feel like at a $50 price point, you're getting your money's worth compared to some other headphones. Now, my last product is the Skullcandy Fix. These are the Rasta, and of course you can see this is the new boxing. It's white, has the Supreme Sound campaign, and it was $34.99, and I purchased these at Newbury Comics. I would just like to say that I buy most of my Skullcandy products at Newbury Comics because they have a really good selection of them. As far as Skullcandy products go, it's easier to go over to Newbury Comics and go out and pick something there because they just have so much Skullcandy merchandise. I mean, I go over to Best Buy, they have some stuff, you know, not that much sometimes, but overall it works out pretty well going over to Newbury Comics because they have plenty of stuff to pick from, and they go all the way up to the Mixmasters down to the Ink 2.0, which is the new inked headphone. Alright, but getting to the headphones themselves. Once again, this is a plastic headphone. Plastic cable, TPE, whatever you want to call it, it's plastic. I don't care to give them fancy names. It's at the end of the day, it's plastic. At the end of the day, it still rubs against your shirt and gives you the microphonics problems. And at the end of the day, this is still a round cable that tangles. Unlike the 50-50. 50-50 will not tangle. It is extremely, extremely hard to tangle. You would have to physically tangle it yourself if you wanted to get it tangled. But normal cables, they tangle all the time. Now, like I said, going back to that mic thing I was talking about and how some of the new Skullcandy products make the mic wider. This isn't wider. I'm not going to try to compare it to you because it's really hard to do it with my camera, and I can't do macros with this camera. It's not that good. But take my word for it. The wider mic is much easier to use, much easier to get your fingers around, and it's fantastic. It's just much better. It's hard to tell which mics are wider when you're buying it. I know that in the 50-50 and the Fix, it shows the mic in a clear version on the front of the box on here. You can see through this, and they put the mic in the front so you can see it. But unless you put both boxes side to side and really look very closely, you wouldn't be able to tell. But it does make a big difference. Anyway, so getting to this headphone. Again, it's plastic. It is a mic'd headphone once again. Almost all of my Skullcandy products are mic'd. Mainly because I have an iPod, and it works seamlessly with that, and it works very well with all the other Apple products, including the iPod Nanos, the Ipod Touch, the iPhone, and so on. I myself have an iPod Classic and iPod Touch. So, once again, since it's a mic'd headphone, it terminates at a TRRS connector, which is the extra pin for the mic. It's gold-plated, and I believe that, you know, gold-plated jacks are a little bit better than the nickel or the silver-plated jacks, as they just conduct better. Gold is a better conductor than the silver and nickel. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but it's one of the two. It's a better conductor, so it works better. Now, getting to the headphones themselves, these sit in your ears. They're not in-ear. I have a pair of in-ear Fix, and the sound quality is better. But you'll pay a lot more for the in-ear Fix than you do for the Fix. The Fix sit in your ear like the Apple-style earphones do that come with all their iPods. However, these sound much better than those. And by much better, I mean a ton better. There's no comparison in my opinion. once again, they do sit in your ear. They do not go in. So they're not going to give you a lot of bass. However, when it comes to the mids and vocals and highs, they really give you a really nice soundstage and a really nice presence when you're hearing these things. I mean, in-ear headphones suffer on the mids and sometimes on the highs. Usually, not all headphones. I mean, I have a pair of Ultimate Ears 55510. They're fantastic. This stuff is junk compared to that. But when you're talking about mids and highs, I feel like any open style headphone does those pretty well, if not very well. These do them pretty well for their price range. I mean, they're a little cheaper than the 5050 at $34.99. And comparing them to the Chops, I feel like in terms of a sports style, if you're looking for something that's in-ear, go with the Chops. If you're not, if you're looking for something that sits on your ear, then go with the Fix. Because the sound quality, excluding bass, is relatively, I want to say the same, but it's not the same. Because the Chops suffer a little bit on the vocals, and the Fix suffer on bass. If you don't like bass, if you like a more balanced sound, you can always use the equalizer. However, I feel that when you're talking about headphones, they should be able to stand on their own without an equalizer. In terms of that, I feel like the Chops don't, the 5050 don't, and the Fix don't. The only product that Skullcandy has right now, or the only products, I would like to say, that can stand without an equalizer are the Heavy Metal, the Aviators, the Mixmaster, maybe the Hesh 2.0. I haven't really spent a lot of time with them. In fact, I haven't even unboxed them yet. They're still sitting in my room. But overall, they're a nice headphone if you're looking for vocals. Really not a good headphone if you're looking for bass. If you're a bass enthusiast, you love bass, don't consider these at all. I would never consider these if you like bass, because you're going to be very disappointed. When I got these, I had in mind that I wasn't going to get a lot of bass, because I know that it sits in my ear, and I know that it's not creating seal to get a nice, nice heavy, punchy bass, like you do with some in-ear headphones, like the 5050 and the Chops. But you get what you get for $35. And I feel like it's a pretty well-made product. They come with a little nylon bag, and so do the Chops in here. They come with the same exact nylon bag, and it has Skullcandy, as the Skullcandy emblem embossed on it, which is a skull. And it's just a cheap little nylon plastic bag. In fact, I like this better than the metal tin that they give you for the 5050, because your headphones don't bang around in it, and it's nicer, it's easier. Alright, so again, this is the Fix headphone, not the Fix in-ear. Like I said before, I said that earlier. Sorry about that. These videos aren't perfect, and I realize that. However, I'd like to say that overall, being a non-in-ear headphone, this is a pretty good style bud. Alright, guys, so my feeling about these three headphones, the Fix headphones, the Chops, and then the 5050 that I have over there, is that the 5050 out of all of them is the nicest. For what it gives you, for the $50 price point versus $35, and then you have to add tax to that depending on where you live. New York's higher than Boston. I'm not sure what other states' taxes are, but when it comes to the 5050, they're the nicest. They're nicer than the Fix. They're nicer than the Chops in-ear. However, I feel like in-ears, comparing in-ears, I almost feel like the transducer in the 5050 is similar to the one in the Chops in-ear, because they almost have the same sound signature. I just feel like the one in the 5050 is bigger, it's a wider transducer, it allows for a heavier, tighter bass punch, and that really sets the 5050 apart from the in-ear. But overall, the 5050 comes in first place for me. The second place winner would definitely be the Fix, because they have a wider sound stage and they sound better. Their presence is nicer. And then the Chops in here come in the last, only because comparing it to the 50-50, it's just the sound quality just isn't there. And personally, I like less bass. I like a more balanced style bud or headphone, circumaural headphone, whatever you want to call it, to begin with. So that's that. Again, this is the Skullcandy Fix Supreme Sound campaign. Skullcandy has now. Those are $34.99, and I believe you can purchase them on the Skullcandy website. We'll have that link in the description. So check the description if you want to pick up a pair of these. If you're into vocals, mids, highs, less bass punch, these are the headphones. In the $34, $35, $40 price range you want to get, then I would suggest these. Then, like I said, I'll have the link in the description for the Chops in here on the Skullcandy website. And I'm not going to put the exact link to the Chops, but I'm going to put Skullcandy's website down below. I'll put Best Buy's website down below. And then I'm going to put Amazon's website down below. And then, to find other places in your area that you can purchase these headphones, I would just Google it. A lot of the times when I'm looking for a cheaper price or I'm looking for the best place to buy these, I just Google it. Typically, Newberry Comics is about $5 cheaper than Best Buy or Apple, but you can't return them at Newberry Comics. And that's one of the things that I hate about buying products there, is that if something's wrong with it, a month out, or not even a month out, if you have a 30-day return policy and something goes wrong in 2 weeks, then it sucks to spend $35 at Newberry Comics and then you're stuck with them. But if you're going to buy anything expensive, I would say go with Best Buy. If you're going to spend $150 on aviators and Mixmasters, you want that 30-day return policy. It's worth the extra few bucks. Again, that was the Fix. We have the Chops in here. This is the old packaging. The new packaging is similar to this, and it has a Supreme Sound campaign on it. And then, again, this is the Chops. I mean, not the Chops. What am I thinking? This is the Skullcandy 50. The 50-50 I bought at Apple, so the link will be down below for Apple. The link will be down below for Skullcandy. The link will down below for Best Buy. And the link will be down below for Amazon. Thank you, guys. I just want to say thanks to all my viewers. I finally hit, I believe it's a little over 2,000 video views, and I want to thank everyone who's been following me or been following my videos, and that's just wonderful, guys. Thumbs up to the people who've liked other videos for me. It's down that corner. Don't be afraid to hit it. It's right there. It's great. I love doing this, and I love all the support and the questions that I get from you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, like I said, and then hit subscribe up top if you want to see more videos like this. Alright, so this week and a few more videos coming up. I already did like 3 reviews in one video. I know this video is really long and it's still going. Just quickly, I have the red aviators that have been burned in for over 100 hours. I got to do a review on those. I just got my cassettes in a few days ago, and those were really nice. I got to review those, and then I got my Hesh 2.0, which I'll go do nothing with right now because I want to do an unboxing of those. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate all the support, and I really appreciate you guys asking questions. Feel free to ask anything. Suggestions for my videos, suggestions of what you would like to see. Anything, really. I don't mind, whether it's, styluses, headphones, cameras, this, that, whatever you want to see. Just give me suggestions for what you would like to see down below. And I really appreciate hitting that like button. It really helps me keep doing these videos. And That's it, guys. I will see you later. Have a nice day.